Hi guys, welcome to QA-TechTalks. In this series, I'll be covering about Cypress introduction, benefits, pros and cons, and a bit comparison with Selenium, Protractor, and other frameworks. Coming to introduction, Cypress is a next generation front-end testing tool built for modern web. Why I say modern web here? Many developments happening with the React, Vue.js, AngularJS, and other JavaScript frameworks. And Cypress mostly suitable for all these to support and compatible with all these frameworks, irrespective of the language. And it also supports .NET, Python, any other programming language as well. Cypress enables you to write all types of tests. For example, end-to-end tests, integration tests, and unit tests as well. If you are interested to explore with unit tests, Cypress is very helpful for you. Cypress was started in 2015 by Brian Mann and Randall Kent. More than just browser automation, a tool for front-end end-to-end testing. It not only supports end-to-end testing and comes with integration and unit testing support as well. It's quite opposite of Selenium. The architecture is completely different and it is totally independent from other frameworks. And it comes with open source and commercial service as well. The commercial version is mostly used for record and playback and parallel testing. Coming to Selenium architecture, a test using WebDriver and it interacts with the Selenium protocol, and browser driver is the middle layer, and browser driver interacts with that browser using the browser protocol. Selenium is mostly depends on the W3C driver protocol, and it runs on the JSON wire protocol, and the architecture is completely different comparing to Cypress. Coming to Cypress architecture, you can see it's very easy and very easy to understand. You can see on the right side, the Cypress runs on the test runner, where it runs internally, executes in the browser itself. While coming to Selenium runs on the remote browser. While execution, we can't interact with the browser. But while coming to Cypress, we can interact with the browser execution while the execution is happening in the background. Here you can see the browser localhost, and the executions will be running in the iframe, and we can inspect the DOM and interact with the Chrome DevTools while execution as well. And the requests are going to HTTP requests are going to the proxy. Here Node.js is proxy, and the process running in the middle layer. And the requests go to the web, and the web returns to the proxy and returns the HTTP response to the browser. And Cypress can execute on multiple operating systems such as Linux, Windows, and Mac as well. Here is a bit comparison of Selenium and Cypress. Last time when I attended this webinar with the Applet tools, there is a bit of comparison between these popular frameworks. Selenium is cross-browser for supports Chrome, Safari, IE, Edge, Firefox. While coming to Cypress, initially it supports Chrome and Electron, but the latest version from 4.0 onwards, it supports Firefox, Edge. It's kind of cross-browser testing tools as well, but lack of support for Safari and IE for now. And Selenium is a cross-language tool, and it supports Java, JavaScript, Python, PHP. While coming to Cypress is mostly built on top of JavaScript and mostly supports JavaScript language. But the syntax is very clear and easy to understand. Most of the scripts we develop with Cypress commands, 70% of the code, and there's a usage of 30 to 20% of JavaScript code, and easy to learn as well. While coming to Selenium uses cross test runner, while Cypress, it comes with inbuilt Mocha, and we can integrate Cucumber BDD framework as well. Selenium is the scripts are mostly slow, and the execution time is laggy. While coming to Cypress commands are very fast and the executions are very fast. due to it internally runs in the test runner browser itself. The target audience for Selenium are mostly testers. While coming to Cypress, Cypress targets developers and testers. It supports both the roles. And Selenium commands are mostly asynchronous, where we need to add waits for each command, and a lot of waits we need to debug in the Selenium framework. While coming to Cypress, Cypress is synchronous. Most of the commands wait for the page to load, and then only it will go to the next step and execute the assertions. Selenium, most of the time, is the scripts are flaky. Out of 10 times, the scripts fail for 3 times, and 7 times it gets passed. And there is a lot of maintenance work as well. While coming to Cypress, Cypress is less flaky, and the less maintenance for the script maintenance for the executions. Selenium is a developer UX where we compare is a less developer UX interactive, visual interactive. While coming to Cypress, Cypress developer UX is very really good and very visual interactive is you will love the test runner interaction. While coming to Selenium, Selenium have mediocre docs, and the docs are not very clear and fully developed. And Cypress docs are really good. It got like from scratch to advanced framework. It comes with every command in the documents. Well, Selenium supports Selenium Grid for parallel execution. While coming to Cypress supports parallel but in commercial version. But there is a hacks to and workarounds for achieve that using the Cypress Docker image. And the last one, Selenium supports good iframe and multiple tabs as well. But the downside of Cypress is Cypress have less support for iframe and multiple tabs. Due to it internally runs in the browser itself, there is a lack of support for iframes. But there are workarounds and hacks for that to achieve. As you can see here, before Cypress and after Cypress. Once Cypress launched, the total automation process was changed in the testing industry. Before Cypress, it was like we need to choose a framework, Mocha, Jasmine, QA, Karma, assertion library separately, which is a Chai or Expertise, and install Selenium, and choosing a Selenium wrapper such as Protractor, Nightwatch, WebDriver, and additional libraries such as Sign-on or Testable. And after Cypress release, it comes with all-in-one testing framework, assertion library with mocking and stubbing, and all without the dependency of Selenium. Cypress makes setting up, writing, running, and debugging tests very easy. And Cypress commands are synchronous and fast are important when dealing with flakiness. As I mentioned before, the executions will wait for the page to load, and then only it will take and go to the next step. And the default timeout for Cypress is 4 seconds. And we can add explicit timeouts, but there is a less usage comparing to other frameworks. Cypress waits until element appears and assertion is true. The elements until it loaded, Cypress waits automatically, and then only it will go to the next step, which is the assertion part. So you won't face any no such element exceptions such as Selenium or other frameworks. And there is no async or await hell. Why I mentioned this, in other frameworks, we use most of the time async or await for the asynchronous issues. But here in Cypress, there is no need of you adding like async or await, and we can reduce the code duplication as well. Let's go to the features and documents of Cypress. Here you can see the web has evolved, finally testing has too. It is fast, easy, and reliable testing for anything that runs in a browser. The simple command to install Cypress is npm install Cypress. It's a single command to install the package, and Cypress comes with predefined package, everything bundled. As I mentioned before, Cypress runs for Mac, Linux, Windows, and multiple operating system support. Here is a complete end-to-end testing experience. The setup is really easy, simple, no dependencies, extra downloads or changes to your code required. While coming to other frameworks such as Selenium, we need a lot of setup and dependencies we need to start from scratch. Here, there is no dependency such as that. And writing tests is easy and quickly and watch them execute in real time in the test runner as you build your web application. And debugging with tests in CI as easy as running tests locally with built-in parallelization and load balancing. And the last one is record tests. We can record the tests in the test runner and automatic records as well. And it captures screenshots and videos and after the execution. And here the quote is test with your code, not your patience. So most of the time we need to spend writing scripts and testing your app, not spending on the framework maintenance and flakiness. Cypress is best suitable for writing scripts in short time and not maintaining setup, not wasting our time on framework setup. And it is user friendly, developer friendly, and QA friendly. It is for everyone. It's for like a team collaboration tool. Cypress has been made specifically for developers and QA engineers to help them get more done. Either the developers can use it for Chrome dev tools to inspect, and QA engineers for the automation purpose and inspect the Chrome dev tools. Cypress benefits from amazing open source community, and our tools are evolving better and faster than if we worked on them alone. As I mentioned before, Cypress comes with two versions, open source and commercial version. Most of the time we use open source is more than enough to maintain the framework. Cypress is based on a completely new architecture. So as I mentioned before, Cypress is totally independent framework and totally got own drivers to execute the commands. There's no more Selenium, lots more power. So here comes the features of Cypress, why it sets apart from other frameworks. So the first one is time travel. Cypress takes snapshots on a test run, simply hover over commands in the command line to see exactly what happened at each step. So once the execution is done, we can time travel to the commands and check the previous commands and parent commands where exactly it passed and where exactly it failed in the test runner itself. And debuggability is really easy coming to compare with other frameworks. Stop guessing why your tests are failing. Debug directly from the familiar tools like Chrome dev tools. And readable errors and stack traces, making debuggability lightning fast. So most of the time we spend debugging, but here the debugging is easy, so we can inspect the exceptions in short time and fix them and execute the updates. And real-time reloads. Cypress automatically reloads when we make changes to your tests. There is a command to enable true or false for the automatic reloads. Once we update the scripts, Cypress will automatically trigger the script execution and updates the report. And automatic waiting. Never add waits or sleeps to your tests. Cypress automatically waits for commands and assertions before moving on. So no more async hell. So Cypress is completely kind of asynchronous, no more async or await adding and wait commands. So it's more of like fully robust framework. Let's see some more features. Here you can see the test runner, the sample test runner, where the left side you can see the commands execution, cypress.visit the website and get the command to execute. In the latter slide, I will show you the sample script of Cypress. And here it's doing the assertion. So we can click on each command and can see what is happening in the background in the right side. The right side is the browser, internal browser, where we can see the actions, interactive actions. Cypress makes tasks amazingly simple, setting up tasks in 60 seconds and start writing the scripts instead of spending most of the time on setup. There are no servers, drivers, or any other dependencies to install or configure. And tests written in Cypress are easy to read and understand. As I mentioned before, it's a team collaboration tool. Even POs and other team non-technical people also can understand the scripts, and easy for maintenance as well. And the API comes fully baked on top of tools you are familiar with already. As I mentioned before, Cypress comes with pre-bundled package and framework setup with Mocha, Chai, and screenshots, videos, everything inbuilt, ready-made. So you can start install in 60 seconds, get starting with the scripts. And Cypress runs as fast as our browser can render content. So you can watch tests run in real time as you develop our applications. So background, it's running internally. You can inspect the dev tools and see what's happening in the network control as well. And it supports TDD and BDD, which is a Cucumber framework we can integrate as well. Debugging is the readable error messages help you debug quickly. You can also have access to all the developer tools you know and love. It is mostly, as I mentioned before, user-friendly for developers, at the same time QAs. And it is really a game changer after it was released. Before Cypress, it was a lot of maintenance for the Selenium and other frameworks and not very user-friendly. And after Cypress released, you will like enjoy the kind of automation framework, and you will love the syntax and the ready to execute scripts. As I mentioned before, time travel is one of the future, debuggability, real-time reloads, automatic waiting, and the new feature is spy stubs and clocks. Using Cypress, we can do the mocking as well using the stubs, and we can do integration testing, and with the API integration, DB integration, and verify and control the behavior of functions, server responses, or timers. The same functionality you love from unit testing is right at our fingertips. As I mentioned before, we can cover the unit testing as well. And the other feature is network traffic control. Easily control stub and test edge cases without involving your server. You can stub network traffic however you like. Without the dependency of server, we can create a stubbing using the Cypress, and we can check the network controls, capture the network controls we can capture the XHR traffic control as well. And it provides consistent results. One of the important factor for any framework is consistent results. And Cypress is very good in that. Our architecture doesn't use Selenium or WebDriver. Say hello to fast, consistent, and reliable tests that are flag-free. Most of the time, the scripts are stable, and we can inspect if any chance of failure. You can inspect in test runner and fix it instantly. And it comes with screenshots and videos. Here, one of the features is we don't need to set up extra function or in plugins for screenshots and videos. Where we're coming to Selenium or other frameworks, it's an extra task. Here it comes screenshots taken automatically on failure, or videos of our entire test suite when run headlessly. Here you see the supported browsers. Initially it supports Chrome and Electron, but the latest version from 4.0, it supports Firefox, Edge, and Brave. So it's kind of cross-browser testing tool, and hope we can say it gets support for Safari and IE in the future as well. So let's see some of the docs of Cypress. Here you can see the docs and why Cypress in a nutshell as well, and who uses Cypress and ecosystem of Cypress as well. It's open source, locally installed test runner and dashboard service for recording your tests. First, Cypress helps you to set up and start writing tests every day while you build your application locally. TDD at its best. Later, after building up a suite of tests and integrating Cypress with our CI provider, our dashboard service can record our test runs. You will never have to wonder why this failed. And one of the main feature is CI/CD integration. We can integrate CI/CD Cypress with Jenkins, TeamCity, Circle CI, GitLab CI, and Amazon Amplify console. So it's a full end-to-end test framework. We can integrate with multiple frameworks, multiple reports, and visual testing. A lot of features and benefits as well. Here you can see the API docs of Cypress, and each command you can see here, the clear command, clear cookies, click events, contains test, each command, get is kind of driver.get in Selenium, and here it's Cypress.get. And here all the commands are available. So the docs are really easy and understandable and in detail. Let's check sample code of Cypress. Let me expand. See, here you can see the sample script of Cypress. So as I mentioned before, Cypress comes with inbuilt Mocha framework. You can see the describe block is a suit level, and it block is a test case level. Here is the function apply credit card for test case. So Cypress.visit is a command kind of to open browser and do the action events. The Cypress.visit, when it compared to Selenium, is a driver.get. Here, once we get the launch the browser in the test runner, we can get Cypress.get, which is kind of find element in Selenium, and we can get the CSS locator and type the test, which is I want a lower interest card. After that, we can use the Cypress.contains fetch. Using the contains function, we can get the test label and do an action event kind of, which is click event. Sorry. And here you can see Cypress.url and adding assertion. So here the should is an assertion, inbuilt assertion comes with Cypress. So we don't need to add a chai or Sinon and another extra separate libraries. It comes with pre-built assertions. So here we can include the assertion and check the path of is exist or not. And Cypress.get, we can verify the header and should contain find the right credit card. This is a sample script of Cypress, which is very easy to understand, easy to maintain, and easy anyone can understand. Non-technical people also easy to understand. And the execution part comes with two versions. One is the test runner execution, and the second one is the command line execution. In the right side, you can see the execution of the test runner. Here, once we open the test runner, we can execute the spec files. In the each file, we can click on it, and we can the execution will run in the background. And right side, you can see we can run all test specs at a time as well. In the left side, using the command line execution, we can execute scripts in a single command, which is npx cypress run. A single command, you can execute all the scripts, or we can create a npm scripts and run npm run test Malaysia, Singapore, or any scripts. And reports are one of the great insights for Cypress. Cypress comes with screenshot and videos, but while coming to HTML reports, we need to integrate Mocha reports, Olio reports, or Cucumber HTML reports. So we can integrate multiple plugins and generate reports. Here you can see Mocha sample reports. Each spec file, how many seconds it took, and how many test cases, and we can expand the logs as well. And another feature of Cypress, it provides supports for responsive app testing. Here you can see it supports desktop, tablet, and mobile view as well. Currently, it doesn't support native apps, but we can test for mobile view as well. We can do a responsive auto testing, verify functionality, layouts using the viewports, verify images and logos, scrolling, and gestures. And as I mentioned before, continuous integration deployment. We can integrate with multiple tools such as Jenkins and TeamCity, Circle CI, and we can auto schedule the builds, and we can check the logs on the next day or whenever we want to execute the builds. And this is the introduction section of the Cypress. And in the upcoming series, I will be covering about setup and installation, IDE shortcuts and plugin installation, writing first test case with Cypress, test runner usage and execution, and locator usage in Cypress, and handling pop-ups, drop-downs, and iframes, and other features as well. Stay tuned and please subscribe to QA-TechTalks for the upcoming series of videos. I'll be covering from basic to advanced, so you can be a beginner and after watching the series you'll become a pro. Trust me and stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.